Hello everyone. This is Nour Zibda, and you are joining me for Thank God It's Fixed show, and this is episode 13. We can double check again. And thank you for joining me this afternoon. And you know what? I am going to double check the episode number. While I do that, so today's episode is a little bit different than the typical episodes that I use, that I typically share. A lot of times I'm sharing a lot of information about research and studies and things like that, and today's episode number 14 actually, is more about what do you do when you have some health issue and you're feeling hopeless. You're feeling that is this something that is going to be fixed? Is this even an issue? Do I just settle? My family thinks that I'm crazy. My doctors think that I'm crazy. And, what do you do about this? Is this really hope, or is this how you are going to feel, or is this normal? So as always, today's episode, just kind of few things that, or few conversations that I had with different people, whether it's clients or people who are, got on the discovery calls with me. And it's just made me wanted to share with you. So if you are joining me live, just say hi, write me a comment. Would love to see if you have a comment or question, and if there's something that resonates with you, or if you relate to this. And today's episode number 14 of Thank God It's Fixed show is on having hope and not settling for health that is not optimal, and for a body that's not vibrant and energized. So one of the things that was thinking, one of my my patients who had finished my program, she came to me because she needed help with digestive issues, having diarrhea, stomach problems, and she, like many people who start working with me, she was skeptical. Like, she did not realize that food and nutrition can actually do anything, or can make a difference. She couldn't go and work out in the morning. The GI issues were disrupting her workout schedule, and for her travel, she wasn't able to travel or without having to stop by a rest area, bathroom. And so now that we've finished with the program, and she had just gone on a couple of trips, and she's didn't even have to stop for a bathroom or worry about it. And, had she not taken that first step, 4 months later, today she would be exactly in the same place, in the same spot. And so, if this is you, is this something that, maybe it's bothering you, maybe it's not major, it's not a disease or a condition that requires you to get hospitalized, but it's something that's affecting the quality of your life, affecting your ability to do things that you love and go places that you want to go, then know that there are solutions out there. And if you haven't found the solution just yet, it's possible that you're not looking in the right direction. Another person I was talking with, she was telling me that she's complaining of acid reflux. I'm talking to a lot of people lately with heartburn and acid reflux over and over again. And, she was telling her doctor that she's having acid reflux. She was having a hard time swallowing and chewing. Choking on food. So, by the way, if you have trouble swallowing certain foods, if you feel like you're choking, you have postnasal drip, this can be actually acid reflux. And so she was having these issues, and she was, sharing with her doctor, and her doctor unfortunately said, oh, well, it's normal. Everyone has acid reflux. And, that's not really true. There are a lot of people who don't have acid reflux, and they eat a lot of different things, and they don't have a problem with tomatoes and citrus and coffee and tea. So if those foods bother you, if that's your case, then it's a sign. It's a sign of an imbalance. I may have showed that in previous videos, that a lot of times the minute a symptom starts to show up, it's not the first time that something went wrong. There's something, an imbalance that's happening in your body, whether it's in your gut or your hormones or your nervous system, that's been happening for a few months, if not even years. And suddenly that shows up, and now you start to panic and worry, like, where did this come from? Now, the beginning stages may be just, a minor, but, if left unattended, if you leave it and you don't do anything of it, it can worsen and get a lot more serious. So it's not normal to have acid reflux. And if you do have acid reflux, then it may be a problem with digestion or a bacterial growth, or, you're not choosing the right foods, or there's lots of things that could be happening. And, for some of you, you might just want a medication pill and solve the problem and take the pain away. And if that's your goal, then, that's your decision. But for a lot of people, they want a more comprehensive approach, a more holistic approach, but just knowing that not settling for this, you don't have to live with this pain. Another patient who just finished the food sensitivity plan, and we're not even finishing it. We're just on the first week, and I typically have people complete before and after survey and to see how they're doing, how's their energy, the mental focus, brain fog, and all of those things. And this person, she had scored her symptoms, and then she came back a week later and she was saying that, wait a minute, I didn't realize how bad I was feeling because I'm feeling much better today. So if I had today my score is lower, I didn't realize that my pain was that severe, or I didn't realize that it could improve. I thought that it was normal. I thought that that's everyone. And, you might not realize that how good your body feels until it starts to actually feel good. So, and it's actually vice versa. You don't realize how good your body feels until your health deteriorates and gets much worse. And so you don't want to get there. If you are, having some issues, if you wake up with muscle pain or joint pain, if you have like this constant background headache, if, if you're holding on to water or your rings are getting tight on you, whatever, like they're minor things, don't necessarily freak out and diagnose yourself, but understand that all these little things are subclinical. Like they may not be necessary to diagnose a disease. You may be losing your hair, or your hair is thinning. These just some examples. You maybe not at a disease state where you need a medication, but these are all signs that something is growing and something is off. Another comment that I got is one of my patients was asking me to get some labs done for her, and she was saying, my doctor thinks I'm crazy. Can you help me? Like she was, getting some vitamin and mineral testing done. And, a lot of people are told by their family members and their doctors that it's in your head, or you're fine, just get up and do it. Or, some people may be not so nice about it, but some of your family members and friends may be just trying to motivate you and trying to make you feel better and tell you that, you know what, you're okay, just get up and eat healthy, just get up and move, just get up and do this. And sometimes that advice helps, but when you're really feeling tired and fatigued and not yourself, that advice can backfire because it feels like no one is really believing you, and nobody's trying to help you uncover what's going on or look deeper at underlying issues. So it's not that you don't have that nothing's wrong with you. A lot of my patients, they do their colonoscopy, endoscopy, everything's fine, or they're told that, oh, you just have some inflammation, but there's no solution because there's really no medical condition. They cannot take their colon apart. They cannot give them a medication. And then they're just sent home. Or, maybe if you have the constant headache and people are, you're drinking water, you're eating healthy, and that's the extent of the advice that you're getting. So thyroid, you may have subclinical thyroid, like you don't have a TSH level that requires a medication, but you're still having the classic symptoms like your hair is falling, you're cold, you're fatigued, having a hard time losing weight. And just know that it's not that there's nothing wrong, but you just may have not put your hands on the right solution, or you're not on the right path, or you still haven't completely uncovered the right pieces of the puzzle to put them and make that whole picture. So really what today's video is just like, you do have control over your health. Of course, there are things that you cannot control 100%. But there's so much that you can control. And we know that, there's a genetics for sure, but your genes are going to interact with your environment and your lifestyle. So what you eat, how you move, the air that you breathe, the quality of the water, the chemicals that you use in your house. And so you have a lot of control over your own health. And if you feel like your health is slipping away, that you can't do it anymore, or what used to work 2-3 years ago is not working anymore, then maybe it's time to look at other solutions or at other answers. If you've seen your primary care, maybe go see a specialist. If you've seen both a primary care and a specialist, think of alternative ways for getting the help, whether it's physical therapy, acupuncture, massage, nutrition, lots of ways to, meditation even. And I'm not a meditation instructor, but, finding ways to support your whole body and your whole mind. And, so that's really what my goal and motivation, or what I'd love for you to do today. If you're watching this, is there one thing that you can do? Pick up the phone, someone you can call, or who can help you. Like, you can call a friend and talk about it, but someone who's really qualified to help you. And maybe if you're not feeling well, and it is something, could be basic, just schedule an appointment with your primary care physician, and that could be like a good starting point. A lot of people don't see their doctors, and if you're a parent, and I'm going to speak because I'm a parent too, you're always putting a lot of things before, and there are always deadlines and kids' activities and schools and all of those things, which are important. But if your health is not optimal, if you don't have the energy that you want, you're really going to have a hard time keeping up with your family and with the routine of day-to-day life. And before you know it, things have slipped. And also understand that what worked 2 or 3 years ago may not necessarily work right now, because you're older, we're all growing up, we're all going in one direction. Your environment might be different, your body chemistry may be different. So maybe it's time to look for something else, or a different piece of the puzzle. So as you're listening, is there something that you feel like you can do today to make a difference? Yeah, so I have some question here from Khairul. Something's off with me, but I don't know what to do. I've done all tests, which tells me that I'm healthy. So I don't know which test that you have done, and this applies to a lot of people, is, my doctors did testing, and I was told that I'm fine. If you are a private client of mine, I actually want to see all the tests that are done. Not that, I'm not a physician, but again, sometimes the thyroid labs are not done completely. Sometimes some vitamin and mineral testing are not also completely done. Sometimes, like, there are hormone tests that can be interpreted along with like cholesterol and other stuff as well. If if all these tests are normal, what are you eating? How, is it possible that you have food sensitivities? Is it possible that you have gut issues? And what I forgot to mention is when someone, one of my patients was told that she has anxiety, and she was told that it's in her head, and it's a lot, maybe it's in your gut, because there's a lot of more and more research showing that your gut flora and the microbes in your gut affect your brain, your mood, and your anxiety. So if all the labs come back normal, then this is the time. This is the right time to work with a dietitian, with a nutritionist, especially someone who's focused on getting to the root of the problem, not just someone who's going to give you, eat your vegetables, eat more protein kind of thing, which is important, but you already know that you got to eat more vegetables, cut back on the sugar, eat lean proteins, all of that. You probably already know it. You just need to get to the underlying problems. So make sure that, you know, all your thyroid has been checked, your vitamin D level, your iron storage levels. So all of these, you know, just depends from one case to another. You know, maybe it's, you know, it's nutrition. And if it's nutrition and it's something I can help you with, I'm happy to, I'll put the link below to schedule a complimentary discovery call. But, you know, it can be other things as well. It could be checking how well you sleep, is your sleep hygiene, the temperature, the bed comfort, you know, are you getting enough sleep, meditation, deep breathing, stress management. There are a lot of things that could be impacting your health. So I have another question from Noor. What important, I'm assuming that's what you mean, what important blood tests do you recommend? Well, it's really going to be dependent on the condition. When I want to get my general wellness labs, take a look at your glucose, and not just your glucose, but all of your blood sugar management, your hemoglobin A1C as well, to get your insulin done. Ask your doctor to get the full thyroid labs, not just TSH, and I'm getting into more details right now. You know, as I said, vitamin D, full cholesterol panel, just so it's going to be different from one person to another, what your medical background is. But these are just some of the important stuff. People ask me sometimes food sensitivities, and this is something I do with my private clients. It's not something that you can get on your own or with any physician. So if there's one thing that you want, you know, make that phone call, reach out to the health provider that is going to help you find answers. And if the answers come back saying you're fine, when deep down in your gut you know that you're not, or I'm off, then, you know, you got to do the homework and take your health into your own hands, because no one else will. Unfortunately, for a lot of medical practices, not because doctors they don't care, but, you know, there's just, they have to meet certain goals in a day, and there are some logistics with insurance and stuff. At the end of the day, your health is in your own hands. And you know, get a folder, collect the labs that you've done in the past, maybe write a history or a timeline of the things that went wrong, or things that when you've gotten sick, or things took a downturn, and you know, seek help maybe outside the box of the typical medical practice if you need it as well. So if you suspect that nutrition and your food choices, you're eating 3 to 5 times a day. So if you suspect that some of the choices that you're making are potentially causing you muscle pain, joint pain, fatigue, headache, digestive issues, you know, these are the main things that I work with people. And if you feel like, you know, you're eating healthy, especially if you're eating healthy and you're doing all the general stuff, like all the common sense stuff, and you're still not improving, I would love to talk with you and see if potentially I can help you, like some of the examples I shared from my clients who were skeptical in the beginning, but they were so happy that they did the work, they took that step, they made the changes, and now they're enjoying their life without the problems, and they're traveling and spending more time with their families and doing fun stuff now because they can. So thank you so much for watching and for staying till the end of the video. If you have a question, write me your question and your comment. If you feel like that motivated you and that was helpful, share it with a friend, or tag a friend who has been not feeling off, and maybe encourage them, or to take something, to do something about their health. I have one more question that I got, which is about hormonal issues. So how about this? I'm going to dedicate an episode to hormonal stuff, because that's really a complicated, or needs a little bit more time, but I will make sure I tag you on the video, and you can also make sure that you follow the Facebook page. show notification or follow first, so this way you make sure that you get the videos in the future. But it's definitely a topic that I will share, because hormonal issues are really important. Your gut, your hormones, your nervous system, these are all going to be talking together, and they can cause a lot of issues and a lot of underlying issues. So that's it for everyone. Thank you so much again. Share, tag a friend, write me a comment. I'd love to read them. I'll come back and answer your questions today or later. Have a great evening.